And we don't make the rules; we break them.
Exactly. And going back to that, we don't care if there's 5 fans in the crowd, but if there's 100. Deep South will always show out for the fans, no matter where. They might not be in the crowd. They might be on the phone. They might be on the couch watching it on the TV or the computer, wherever. Somebody somewhere in this world is watching. Oh.
Amen.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are officially on the second show now, so we're going to open up the discussion a little bit more. We're going to talk about the full weekend of Carnage, which was Carnage Cup and Kingdoms of Carnage. Obviously, I don't have much experience because I had to go to the hospital. But you two gentlemen showed out and had a great weekend. So definitely talk about your second round matches. Brian, if you'd like to go first, you can talk about yours.
All right. Well, now day 1, Carnage Cup. I went into round 2 against Chewy Martinez, a fellow juggalo. Whoop, whoop.
What was that? Don't ever do that again.
He taught me a lesson in this match, and I won't leave that between he and I. But he taught me a valuable lesson in this match. But we got in there, and about midways into the match, some fan had made this concoction. It looked like a plant holder, I guess. And I seen him pouring rubbing alcohol on it. That didn't bother me. What bothered me was whenever the time came for it to get poured on me, he picked it up, Chewy did, and he poured it on me. When he did it with rubbing alcohol, salt, and ghost pepper hot sauce. There was nothing I could do at that point. I couldn't see shit. See crap, sorry. I was blinded. I was hurting, and the hot sauce was getting in my cut along with the salt. And I think Chewy was expecting me to kick out there, but I had to take it home then because I just absolutely couldn't see or breathe or anything. So Chewy went over on me on that one. Day 2 comes around. We're going to Kings of Carnage, and I'm in the gauntlet. It comes down to the last 3 men being Jimmy Controversy, which, by the way, had an impressive showing. Any man that can survive Necro Butcher and Bryant Woods and still walk is a strong little individual. But I went into the gauntlet, and me and Hillbilly wound up being the last 2, and he threw me through a big old platform of tubes, beat the living snot out of me. Then I only had one choice. I said, well, if I can't beat him physically, I'm going to try to choke him out here. So when he's backing up to me in the corner here, I just hung on for dear life, and I'm trying to get my arm up under his chin, and it's not working. And he's coming, and he goes to the center of the ring where all the glass and everything is, and he just does this big old backflop. And yes, God, it hurt like crazy, but in my head, I said to myself, this is for everyone that said I couldn't do it, I got to hang on. And I just held on. But when he came back, it gave me enough momentum to get up under his chin there and finally get him in the chokehold. And that's ultimately what helped me win the Spider Bruiser Gauntlet. And that was an incredible moment. That was my WrestleMania moment.
Hell yeah. Okay, what about you, Sicko?
Alright, well, I'm going to start with the last match I didn't talk about from day 1, which would be me versus Obey.
Ooh.
Little Sicko versus Obey was an experience. Going into that match, I was told it was supposed to be, I believe it was Mike Fatality. I was kind of looking forward to that. Was it UWF, I believe?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, he's a legend from up there, and I always love meeting new people from different places, getting to wrestle different guys. It's the best part about wrestling. And
yes,
finding a show like Deep South, there's always somebody new to wrestle. And whenever I got told Obey was going to be my opponent, I kind of rattled myself a little bit on that one. Going into the show, my manager, Sadisto, he had told me that he was one of the scariest guys there, minus Brian Woods, and John Rare, because John Rare is one of the craziest with our show. But Obey, he had a demeanor that really rattled Sadisto. And I guess I let Sadisto get in my head. And when I got into that match, I didn't know what to expect. But I think I fell in love.
It's easy to do with him. He's a great worker, dude.
He is. Mad props to Obey. He followed through the match. He was a little scared there for the finish. One of the best spots of the match. The Spanish fly off the apron. That was one of the best spots of the match. The finish, of course. And I wouldn't rather do it than nobody else. It's like he listened to me all the way through. He trusted me all the way through, and I respect him for that. Now, the only other thing from that match that I would like to talk about was that whole dive spot where he caught me on the... I was aiming for a blockbuster on the outside, same spot. I think it was like 5 minutes before we went for the go-home. And I went for a dive to hit a blockbuster on him through a pane of glass, and he caught me, and I don't know what really happened there, but between the glass and the way he landed, I know he caught the front end of that. It stabbed into his ribcage. I do want to say that was a rough bump indeed for both of us, even though he come out of it. So mad props to him for that. He saved us on that one. And then and going to day 2, Kings of Carnage. My match against Jay Blade was a wild one. We went in there and tired as we could be, already sore, hardly walk as we could. We went out there and we put on a show.
Put on a clinic. Get that correct.
Yes. So we went out there brawling, started to lock up. We're trying to stay on top. No matter what, we're trying to stay up on our feet. The minute we come up off our feet, the minute we're not going to get back up. We had a dang good match. Like I said, that was just a touch of what me and Jay Blake could do. One of the better spots of the match was where he had worked over into my mother and my fiance and the rest of the crowd, and he just decided to, choke me, beat me out. Death match. What do you expect? We witnessed a little bout between the fans. His old lady, my old lady, got to arguing. That was pretty interesting.
Yeah, needless to say, my wife still is dumbfounded by that one.
No. I did tell her that, she shouldn't have done it. I had it, I had it. But, I gotta give respect for taking up for me. Leading out of that spot, we worked over to the U-Haul. And I guess his whole plan was to choke me out for his pins. Because I ended up getting my 2 pins out of the 2 out of 3. He got his 1. I don't remember his pin. And I don't remember it at all. Like, this is the point in the match where we're at the U-Haul. And this is where I assume he got his point. We're at the U-Haul, and next thing I know, he's got me in a chokehold. And I want to say it felt like I was in a dream. I come up out of a dream, and I'm looking down at my leg, where he's unswapped from a chokehold to a leg hold. And I'm like, wait a minute, why is this dude hitting on me? Like, who's hitting on me? And then it hit me all at once, like, Jay Blade's hitting me. Why is Jay Blade hitting me? Oh, we're in a match. Wait a minute. He just choked me out. So, they're going up on top of the U-Haul. I was rattled because my very first time ever been choked out just happened to be in a death match. So, I want to say that's got 90% of the blame on the reason why I come off that U-Haul the way I did on him. We had talked about working up the U-Haul, and somehow I'm supposed to be fighting him off of me. Next thing
Y'all also did something in that match I've never seen done on the U-Haul. Y'all actually used tubes on top of it.
Right. That was a new sight. And that's when he powerbombed me on those tubes. He rattled me. Again, of course, I took the chokehold, got up top. I hit my head a little bit on top of the U-Haul, going through those tubes. I barely kicked out that 3. And whenever I sat up, you could see it, like I was shook. And next thing I know, whenever I'm trying to get my focus going, on where he's at, he's gone. And that's pretty much when I just charged him. And then I'm like, holy crap, I'm flying, because I just charged off the side of a U-Haul without second thought of what the repercussions might be. No, that was not supposed to be the finish. But whenever I heard that he couldn't see no more, or not that he couldn't see, because I was the one that was half blind with all the blood. He told me that he couldn't hear good, and he was pretty much half deaf. He thought he might have took a hard shot or something like that. Yeah. So whenever he said that, I didn't second guess to go ahead and call it, go home. I just took a big fall off the U-Haul, kind of landed rough. I mean, that's a lot of force, a lot of momentum. He couldn't catch all of it. I knew better than that. Hey, like I said, I took a lot of it out there. Oh Lord, that was definitely a show to remember. I will say that.
I'll never forget it as long as I live. That was absolute carnage at its best. But I can't stress enough, man. You showed out. Like the future of deathmatch wrestling is bright, very bright with you, and I know we're in good hands. The future, man, it's amazing. I'm so honored that he shared the ring with both of you guys. I mean, you both just showed out. Sicko, man, God, keep doing what you're doing, bro. It's so over. I mean, I'm a fan. I'll go ahead and tell you, I'm a fan.
I do appreciate it, man. We gotta show up and show out and show them who we really are. Make a name for ourselves, each and every single one of us. And as we do that, if we work together, you work on yourself, I work on myself, John, you work on yourself. We all work on ourselves to better ourselves best we can and prove the world who we are. We're going to take IWA all the way up with us. We're going to show them that we're just as good as WWE, AEW, TNA Impact, any of those other bigger brands. We're going to be right there with them one day. And we're going to carry them right there on our back, just like any other business. Somebody's got to do it.
Somebody does. Yeah. You're right.
Definitely so. And, like, the talent right now in Deep South is so amazing. Like, you know, there's no concerns when it comes to talent.
No, I think, like he said, the future's bright. It's so bright, and I look forward to see what's around the corner.
I'm willing to paint it any color they want. White, black, red. I'm just willing to use paint, blood, whatever. I'm ready to paint.
Yes, sir. Let's paint the town.
Why the town? We can aim for the whole world.
I like what this man thinks.
I don't want to be knowing my hometown. That's why I'm aiming for bigger and better. If I wanted to do that, I mean, I could have been there, but I didn't stop there. I went and found the next biggest show, and I didn't like it. A few guys was rough with me. They injured me, and I had to take time off from the business, and it messed me up on a few shows for IWA, and it kind of set my priority focus on not just going to any show and every show, but make sure I find somewhere that really wants to love me and take care of me the way that Deep South has and the locker room has, and stick with and give them my all instead of trying to go everywhere and just throw my body out on the line. Because not everybody's gonna make it worth it.
No, they're not. No, they're not. And again, shout out to Kevin Brennan, man. Great job, dude. You really came through on this one, like, you know.
100% out of all the controversy he's had over the last 10, 15 years, 100% I have more than just respect for Kevin alone.
Oh, I love him. I love him. That's my guy.
100%.
And definitely, you know, that's the one thing I can say about our locker room. It's a very, you know, tight-knit, and, you know, we're all close to each other. But, you know, the one thing about being close to each other is, you know, all of us, including myself, you know, was extremely happy that, you know, Bryant Wood's story ended with him winning that Carnage Cup this weekend and that title. And the sad thing about it is, you know, like, the Carnage Cup was, like, to me, the greatest tribute to Spider himself. And,
I think
And then on top of it, his protege, Bryant, not only won the Cup, but won the IWA Deep South Heavyweight Championship. And, all of us can sit around and clap and be happy for him, but the fact is now he's the one that's standing in y'all's way on being that champion. And I definitely feel bad for anyone that has to be on the opposing side of the ring of him anytime soon.
You chew your neck rough.
Most definitely, I needed a bag of potatoes to put on me just to keep up with. Man's big.
I tell anybody, the thing about Brian Woods is, when he comes into a room, it's just like, and it sounds so cliche, but it's like this ominous feeling just comes over you. Like, the first time I met Brian was at Violent Shit Cup last year, and I didn't even know he was there. I think I'm talking to Chris Kloss or something. We were just talking, and it's just all of a sudden it's like this dark feeling comes over me. I turn around, I look behind me, I look up, and here's Brian Woods looking at me, and I'm just, I'm about to crap my pants. You know what I'm saying?
You can imagine how I felt when I turned around and realized that I was the only one left in the finals with him. And I think that most of that was adrenaline, because I was like the biggest guy in the tournament, smallest guy in the tournament. What do I got to do to prove who I am? And this is what it's got to be. I definitely hated that's what it took. But I'll do what it takes. Yeah, get adrenaline going real good and strong and take that beating like no other.
Bro, but when he was basking them feuds on you, at one point in my head, I didn't say it out loud because I was really screaming as loud. Like, I lost my voice screaming for you, but like, when he was throwing them feuds, part of me was just like, stay down, don't get up, please don't get up. And you kept getting up, and I was just like, this son of a bitch either has a death wish or he's the craziest motherfucker I ever met in my life. Sorry, mother freaking sorry.
That's who we are. I can't stay down.
I mean, your heart, man. That's man. You have more heart than Spike does. You are exactly what this business needs. More men like you.
As many guys as there is that is small like us. I know I'm the smallest, but there are others in the business, especially Deep South. There ain't many that can keep up with it. If I would have just backed down every time he told me to stay down, every time y'all wanted me to stay down, I would have made it so easy for him. He wouldn't have even wanted to stay. What's the sense of staying when there ain't no challenge?
You right. I ain't never get it like that.
I mean, it's really strange. I've had a heavyweight strap put on me one time. I was so overwhelmed with the fact that I was over the heavyweight champion. I did what I could to try to gain weight, try to put on the extra weight. I'm so small, and it's not possible. Right. It's not. So you got to bring everything else to the table. You got to bring your strength, your endurance, your ability to take pain. Like, you got to do pain. Yes, it's not the fight in the dog. It's the fight that the dog can take.
Yeah, I agree with that. 1,000% I agree with that.
Sometimes speed.
Sorry, guys, we've been rambling on.
No, it's cool. It's cool. This is what we want. We want, talk about what's going on, especially with y'all's match, But
Brian, how did you like those that saw chair brought out?
You know what? We don't want to talk about that. That was
I thought that was pretty.
Out of all the weapons we had, the weapons we had in that match, that was the one I was scared of the most. And then, I don't even remember you telling me, or I don't even remember it happening until I watched the video of you using the needle on my head. I don't even remember that. I seriously do not.
Well, I will say this. I worked it the best I could. I pushed it. I pulled it. But I'll tell you, man, I didn't even feel it in my hands. So, I mean, my hands aren't tougher than your forehead, so it can't be that bad.
Do you remember before that match, Sicko, what did you say? I want to crunch some ass. I want to crunch some ass.
Uh-huh.
You got it, brother.
Yeah, I did. So did you. And I tell you, when you talking about that needles, you looked at me when you seen those needles, you was like, bro, no, I don't like needles. I'm so scared of needles. Please don't. I was like, look, brother, I got you. And I mean, I had you. I didn't hurt you.
I'm not big on needles, but you know what? It's just like I told anyone. I'll give you a chance to earn my trust. And I mean, you already had. Don't get me wrong, but that really sold me on trusting you. You know what I'm saying? Like I was
honestly expecting a gut shot right there, because you know the way I look at it, always improvise. If I'm going for something, I'm just not going to throw it down and make it look stupid.
No,
I really would. If you don't want it, truly don't want it, fight me back.
right.
It's a fight. It's what it is. Most people think, oh, it's all staged, yada. You don't walk in a fight knowing everything that comes at you. There might be some things you can see coming, there's going to be some things you can't.
Like I didn't see you throwing the trampoline at me after you used it on me, but you know, hey, we're not talking about that. No, I'm joking.
That was actually pretty, the way it bounced off your head.
Yeah, it was. It made a nice little splatter there, you know. It was all good.
I want to say another one. I want to say a bigger one.
Well, by that, we definitely, you read my mind. We'll talk about that off the camera. The one thing that I remember after you did that was I'm laying there and I'm looking at the blood just dripping out of my head, and all of a sudden I see John walk over to the boxers. He grabs one, and I'm like, what are you doing? John's not saying nothing. I said, what are you doing? John didn't say nothing. I said, what are you doing? By the time I said, what are you, and he done stabbed his arm, I was like, what in the heck just happened here? What the heck?
Yeah, when I looked up and I realized what had happened, is I didn't see it. It rattled me a few times, and I want to say you were the one that rattled me. He come over and give me a few gut shots, so I was facing down. Whenever I looked up and I seen all that blood coming up, I think I was seeing tunnel vision, because I was like, all right, he's down for the count. That hurt. Somebody's got to be up, or we're about to lose the fans.
So,
I think I pulled through right there, watching his blood come out. You know, when you see your own blood come out, you get that red tunnel vision. I think I was seeing his tunnel vision right there. Like, I was feeling his pain for him. Like, that was one of the single most stupidest things I seen all weekend.
We love you, John, but God.
We do.
That was, I just can't. I can't wait to see that video to wonder what in the heck.
And it had to be the first match of Carnage Cup of all things. Man, we're just gonna start off crazy like this, you know? Just let's take it all the way there, you know?
Hey, John,
that was a great way to open the show. That was a great way to open the show for sure.
Yeah, it was.
Right.
Who the guy that rode with you, John, to the hospital?
You talk Resurrection Mike?
Resurrection Mike. A lot of respect for that guy. He had a nice showing in the gauntlet too. Honestly, the little drunk hillbilly dude, I forgot what his name was, but he really was obnoxious, like real obnoxious. So I'm glad that Hillbilly handed him a butt whooping, you know.
I want to say that was, I can't think of what he goes by in the ring. I want to say that was BJ.
I don't know, but he was very obnoxious, being rude to workers' spouses, and just being rude in general. Talking about, I'm gonna come out there with you, make your match better, and I'm like, and not to sound conceited, but I didn't need no one to go out there. That was my moment, you know what I'm saying? I didn't need you to come in there and cut into it, you know.
Yeah.
That's what I tried to explain to him.
Make it a own moment. Not everybody needs you to do it for them.
Yeah.
Right, I agree. I'm part of a faction. There's 4 of us in total. Ringmaster Little Sicko, Sadista, which is the manager. My brother, Schizo, which we are the tag team champions of IWA. He's out on injury right now. And then Brian. He's an I character. Wow. My only thing with being in a faction, it really messes with me. Because once you step into a faction, you're more than just you. You're a team.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed Carnage Cup because that brings back a lot of memories that's flooded me over the last couple years that I forgot. Because I've been in the faction, started it going on 4 years ago. and it's just building and getting better and better and better. I almost lost touch in what it was like being a singles competitor. Yes.
Yeah, kind of like you did it as a team to get to where you're at.
Well, see, that's the thing. I've never had tag team. I've always really been solo. The only tag team partner that I can really remember legitimately having was a dude named Cat Daddy. We were a tag team for a little while, but I've never had that. And I feel like everybody should have that at least once in their life. But Blaine, he was my partner. I don't know if he still is or not. But I'm trying to find that person that I click with on that level, that we have that chemistry and all that. Because when you see you and your partner together, it's fluid. There's constant tags in, tags out, cutting the opponent off, cutting the ring off and stuff, and it's a work of beauty. And that's one element, like I said, that eluded me over the years. I want to learn tag team wrestling. So, anybody out there want to be a part of it, hit me up.
One thing you got to keep a factor there. You also got to keep each other's skill set in use too. Skill set, psychology. Practice makes perfect. That's always a thing. A lot of teams think that they can just team up and go at it and be the best tag team there is. And my partner Ryan has tried a few times calling it out, and I'm like, no, let's not just throw a move out there, man. Let's practice first. Because I don't want to go in there and try to no psychology, no brainer this. Me and you just jump in there at the same time and try to do something on the side of the right.
I don't want to kill somebody.
Hey, I push this on every worker I've ever met. My brother, Ryan, my manager, everybody I've ever met. I always make sure they know they don't push nothing on nobody, and they always remember if somebody says no, that means no.
Right. Agreed.
And that's one reason I'm saying this is referring back to the whole needle spot with you. I was expecting a gut shot because you said no, but you took it like a champ, so I got respect for you. But I expected a gut shot there to cut me off because you didn't want it.
Yeah, I trusted both Ben and all my opponents. I trusted this weekend. I'm just saying, but that match, there was a lot of brutality in there that I was not prepared for, I guess, physically. Mentally, I had prepared myself, but I got out there, and there was a few moments I was like, what have I got myself into? Because, when we first started off the match, and I looked into your eyes, and then you looked, and I looked in John's eyes, and we all just looked at each other, and we were like, this is it. And then we just started slobber knocking each other. But, that has got to be the most mentally exhausting match I've ever been a part of.
Yeah, even when I was down, I wasn't really down because I want to know more about the fireworks. Because from my end, even though I was down, I was trying to roll out of them, to dodge out of them because they're shooting out, flying every direction. And all the shards and the hot pieces just flying off of them, the coals are landing on me. And I'm like, what? You got that one little coal landing in the middle of your back.
Well,
right there.
I go back to the Ring of Fire death match that Violent Shit Cup with John. I set him on fire, and this is the only man in the history that I've ever been wrestling that laughed when I set him on. He was laughing when I set him on fire, and then he burns my manhood. Let's just say that he gave me the goodness gracious great ball of fire. But fire is a very unpredictable element, and that's John's specialty once again, like razor wire. So kudos to you on that, John.
Well,
yeah, I want to know more about how that felt with y'all going through it.
John got the worst end.
yeah, this weekend the razor wire definitely fucking won. I'll tell you that.
Well, I want to thank you guys for coming out and joining me on this interview. I'm going to be doing other interviews with other guys from the Carnage Cup, but we wanted to get you guys in first, and, get yours done and all. But thank you guys again for joining us on John's YouTube channel and on TikTok.
We'll see you next time.
Yes, you too.
As always, stay wicked. Whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop.